I'm just wondering. Like,
What do you got? Divisional round games. Statman Cam is back with us, so we know Sam isn't going to go 6-0 like last week.
yeah, I might just go 3-1 instead. I'm already telling you I have 4 more locks.
Cam, how you feeling over there, buddy?
Feel great. I was really just making the sacrifice for Browns fans to get the win. It's been a long time coming, and Kevin Stefanski and I needed some time to game plan in his basement, and we successfully did that. Although I did mush myself, I didn't call enough plays for Rashard Higgins on my prop, so that's on me. That's no credit to me, but yeah, I'm feeling good otherwise.
So with you having like the inside like gig with Stefanski now, thanks to like getting COVID, are like you're currently still in like some sort of quarantine, right?
Yeah.
How long is that last? Like, are you going to be available for like? Are you still in quarantine till Sunday at 3:05 when they kick off in Arrowhead?
Pretty much. I mean, the Browns are covering my Airbnb in Cleveland. Like they said, like Cam, like clearly this is working. Whatever you guys have going on, like you're both COVID brothers, so we're gonna stick around for at least this week, and we'll find out if we're gonna stay.
Some would say that Kevin Stefanski nailed that saying into the wall right behind your head right now. This is us, our story, our life, our home.
He did. That was actually a gift after the win last week.
All right, love it. Yeah, so I briefly went over the fact that Sam went 6-0 last week. We don't really have to talk too much about that. So,
should we actually dive into that more?
I mean, we can. I went 2-3, so yeah, let's just focus on you.
So what's your yearly record?
I'll have to go back and do the math. I think, I think I gave free entertainment this year still, like we talked about last week.
Yeah, I think you're 25-25. I, with my 6-0 record, am up to a nice 29-19.
29-19?
29-19.
Wow. That's pretty good.
They don't call me an expert for no reason.
Sam, wouldn't that mean that you have a losing record when I'm on the show?
Probably because I'm 11-1 with you off the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. This might be a good week to fade.
Actually, so technically I don't have a losing record when you're on the show. I'm 18-18, but I'm down units when you're on the show, yes.
Yep. All right. Keep it in mind, people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got the divisional round this week, 4 big games coming up. As I said last week, no sponsors until potentially the Super Bowl. Like I said, we might have a little something up our sleeves, but from here on out, we're really just kind of trying to get as best a record as we can both get and provide for charity. Sam, you made another donation, right?
Yeah, I've made donations in 3 straight weeks to charity. Shout out. Most of it has gone to the Barstool Fund, but I just want to shout out Gizmo, my buddy's little puppy. He had back surgery, and unfortunately, the owner is in med school and couldn't really afford to pay it. So I donated towards that GoFundMe, and they reached their goal of $4,300. So that's awesome. Good little Gizmo. Surgery getting paid for.
Go Gizmo, go.
Go Gizmo. Go Gizmo.
Wow.
All right, I'm ready. You guys ready?
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Well, let's jump. We're just going to go in order the kickoffs, starting with the not the LA Frauds, the LA Rams against the Green Bay Packers. Rams coming in as a 6.5-point dog. You guys know how I feel about the Rams. That last week's game was pretty ugly all around, with Seattle just looking like a train wreck. Sam, what do you got?
Yeah, so the Rams were one of my locks last week. I said like 6 weeks ago, I really like the Rams, and I think they're like the team to come out of the NFC. They've stunk ever since I said that. But last week they showed they're still kind of legit. I don't know if Aaron Donald's playing. Do we know that?
We'll look.
I think it's a game time deal.
He has to be playing. I feel like
he'll probably play.
It would take a truck running him over for him to sit out.
Aaron Donald, good to go.
Good to go.
I'm not saying the Rams are going to win this game. That is not what I'm saying. But based on the line movement, 60% of the bets are on the Packers. 56% of the money is on the Packers. It's dropped from 7 to 6.5. So if I had to make a play on this game, I like the Rams. I'd buy it up to 7. But I mean, there's not crazy line movement or anything there, but I like it enough where I think I'd take the Rams here.
I just think, like, I mean, for as dominant of a team that Green Bay was during this season, compared to the complete opposite of dominance that the Rams were, I find this line to be bananas, considering the Aaron Donald injury. Even if he is good to go, he's not going to be 100%. Considering Jared Goff starting, I think I would almost be a little bit more confident after seeing. Did you guys watch that game? I mean, every throw that he had was off target. Like, he can't throw with that thumb.
You can't throw that thumb, and they're playing in like frigid weathers where it's going to be a fucking beating on that thumb every snap he takes.
It's gonna have to be the Cam Akers show. That's the end all be all.
Yeah, and who would ultimately be if Jared Goff gets hit, lands funny on his hand, and further damages it? Who's the backup now?
So last week it would have been Johnny Hecker, who's their punter, who has thrown some passes, and they have been nice passes. But Blake Bortles was inactive. I imagine Blake Bortles will be active for the Rams this week.
Vote.
I do like that. All right. Well, no, I mean, either way, I understand the line movement side of things, and being a divisional round game, the Rams are going to leave it all on the field. I just can't in like any way rationalize the thought of I'd rather lose money betting on the Packers than lose money betting on the Rams because of how we know both of these teams are.
But would you rather lose money betting on the Packers than win money betting on the Rams? That's the question.
No, because that's a dumb thing to say, because the scenario is you're looking at both teams and you say, which one would you rather lose with? I'd rather go down with the Pack minus 6.5, because like that is like the obvious pick. That's the obvious pick. I just did this to myself on Monday night with Alabama, Ohio State. I should have known to have picked Alabama minus 8.5, because you would feel better about yourself being like, oh, well, I mean, Ohio State just came and played like their ass off. Like, credit to them. Like, but Alabama was clearly the better team. That's who I should have taken. Like, the Packers should have no problem winning this game by 2 touchdowns or more.
If the Rams play the game they played last week against Seattle, they will lose by more than 7 points. Fact, Sam?
Shut up.
Some. Like they did not play well. They did not play well.
Yeah, but their defense was amazing.
Was it?
I think Seattle.
The Seahawks? We literally said this last week that the Seahawks offense has been doggy-doo since that big-time performance against the Jets like a month ago.
You still can't take away from what the Rams defense did.
Yeah. But their best players.
Well. That was an interdivision game too, like a conference game. Like, I mean, I feel like those two teams know each other. It's always a toss-up between the two. I think that, I'm taking the Packers here.
I just want to say that I know the Packers' main source of points comes from Devontae Adams. He's going to be on Jalen Ramsey this week, so it's you're going to have other players on the Packers beat you, unless Devontae Adams is just far superior to Jalen Ramsey. But I think for that reason, it's going to be close. And like, we're in the 7 points is way too fucking much
we're in a divisional game. Like, Vegas does not make mistake, or the lines are not a mistake in these games, right? This is not a
they're begging you to bet
Southern Alabama basketball game. So like, this line is very clearly there for a purpose.
They're begging you to bet the Packers.
They are. By not making this a 7.5 or 7 point line, they are indeed begging you to bet the Packers.
And suckers like you, Joe, are going to take it. People that are 25 and 25 on the season are going to take it.
Looks like it might snow on. There would be some snow showers.
I'll tell you right now, though.
That favors the Rams. They're going to have to run the ball anyway.
I think that
if this was a regular year with a crowd, this might be -8.
This might be a 11 point spread if this was a regular year with the crowd.
Yeah.
I think the real bet here, I'm going to take the Packers, but I think the real bet here, in my opinion, is the under.
Yeah.
That's probably also the Joe bet, unfortunately. Like,
No, actually, so
Like, I agree
50,
in premise.
54% of the bets are on the over, 57% of the money's on the under. It's dropped from 47 to 45 and a half. I also like the under.
I
Jesus.
like a 30. I like a 31-10 game package.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, the Packers are very good at running the play. They run the play clock down, I believe, this more than anybody else, which is a stat I take into account a lot when I bet unders, because I love betting unders,
tick, tick,
especially
tick,
first quarter unders.
tick, tick, tick.
So, like, I used to take the Dallas first quarter under in every game because all they do, they run the play clock to zero. But anyway, so Joe, your pick is Green Bay -6.5.
Yeah, and the under.
And the under. And the current under is 45.5, son?
Yeah, 45 and a half.
So, yeah, that's going to be a super interesting game. Also moving on to another very, very good game. We've got Buffalo and Baltimore. Buffalo currently here at a 2.5-point favorite. Baltimore, I did not proclaim because I wasn't on the show, but to those who know me, I proclaimed Baltimore as the Tennessee Titans of this year. Very disrespected, coming in hot, very much, playing that way. And the Titans were, a finish away from beating the Chiefs. Ultimately, they screwed up a 14-0 lead. But Joe, what do you got here?
Yeah, this game is a little conflicting because I actually have futures on both of these teams to win the Super Bowl. So
That is good.
That's
No,
good for you.
that can't be bad right now.
Yeah,
Especially the Buffalo.
I love, and my heart, like, I think if I had to pick a team outside of the Eagles, like if the Eagles were to just like fall off the face of the earth, and I had to pick another football team to root for, I think it would be the Bills. Like, I think their fan base just like speaks to me. What's that?
So this season.
No, I liked them. I've liked them pretty much ever since I found out about their tailgates.
No. I'm saying like the scenario you just said where the Eagles.
Where the Eagles fell off the face of the earth. Yeah, like I'm pulling for Buffalo this postseason for sure. No, I think my heart is with Buffalo. My brain is with the Ravens. There is snow coming to Buffalo this week. That worries me a little bit. I don't think Lamar Jackson has played a game in the snow in his entire life. No, is that wrong?
He never has.
Yeah. So I'm a little concerned about that. With that said, the Ravens, like towards the end of the game, I kind of usually go against this theory, but like when a team shows like a lot of kind of like disrespect, like a lot of shit talk, like just the defense was stomping on the Tennessee T. They were like Lamar Jackson basically ran right into the locker room once the clock hit zero, didn't look at anybody before he got pulled back from media like obligations. But I think that I typically don't like when that happens and you have to bet against those teams because it's like, well, you guys are just being assholes, cocky. But with the Ravens, it fits. And I think that I have to go with the Ravens right now. The Bills were playing the best football in the NFL 3 weeks ago. The Ravens are playing the best football in the NFL right now. I have to go with the Ravens.
Yeah, we've talked about this on the show at length. I'm on the Ravens to win the Super Bowl at 11-1, so my pick here is going to be very biased. So I'm going to pick the Ravens. I will buy it up to +3 just so I have the points with me. But I do expect the Ravens to win this game. As you were saying, the cockiness of the Ravens that they're portraying, it kind of actually reminds me of the Eagles in their Super Bowl run year, the dreams and nightmares and, the swagger they had. I'm not saying like the cockiness. I'm saying the swagger that the Ravens had. I think it's, kind of similar to what that Eagles team was portraying. I kind of like that. And I think I am worried about the fact that Lamar said he's never played in the snow and he doesn't want to play in the snow. I mean, you got to want to play in a divisional round playoff game. Like it's the postseason. And I know the Ravens are big on I know you have Dobbins right now that's been running up the middle pretty effectively. But the Ravens are an outside running team. I don't know how much that's going to be impacted in the snow, but the Bills are dog shit at stopping the run. They have a bad run defense. Their linebackers are pretty awful. Front seven, not great. in that term. So I think it's going to come down to who can run the ball best, especially in the snow. And the Bills' run game is terrible. Zach Moss is going to be out. So I don't think Josh Allen can really throw that well in the snow.
Yeah. This is an interesting game. I think the NFL tried to throw the big rig in last week with that botched challenge there at the end. I think they wanted Buffalo to lose. I don't know. That was one of the worst reviews at the end where they said it wasn't a fumble. That would have ended the game. But anyway, I'm a little bit worried about the Ravens kicking right now. Justin Tucker has missed a few field goals over the last few weeks, maybe fallen from grace a little bit. Add the elements. That's a part of the game that's normally automatic for the Ravens. I think
Tyler Bass kick in the snow.
I buy that Tyler Bass can kick in the snow. I think he's a very good kicker. He's an up and coming guy. But you know me, Sam. You know I love looking at kicking in the playoffs. Is a very important factor. We'll see here. My gut is also with Baltimore.
I have one more thing to add to this, only because it spoke to me really quick. Hold on. I'm just trying to figure out what the odds would be here.
I took the over on Josh Allen rushing yards, by the way, with
so if you do a parlay, anytime touchdown scorers, four people, Lamar, J.K. Dobbins, Josh Allen, and Devin Singletary, you get plus 2,762 odds. $5 wins you $138.
Devin Singletary.
Yeah, I'd rather have Tywan Jones than Devin Singletary.
Has Devin Singletary even scored a touchdown all season?
Yeah, probably. But
Are
yeah.
you sure about that?
Yeah.
I think TJ Yeldon might be the backup running back. Him and Tywan Jones kind of flip-flop there.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll have to take a couple looks at some of those.
But I'll be playing Dawson Knox TD like I do every week because all they do is throw that guy the ball in the end zone.
I wasn't that crazy to think Devin Singletary hadn't scored a touchdown. He's scored no rushing touchdowns this season, or 2 rushing touchdowns all season.
Yeah.
It's more than
He had a massive step back. It's just a fact. Like he's
sophomore slump.
Yeah. No, I buy it. I mean, and Josh Allen's also like plus Diggs. Like there's a lot going on there. Has Diggs played in this now?
He probably played in the Green Bay, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chicago or Green Bay, somewhere over there at some point.
I think that's probably my favorite game of this entire slate. It's very under the radar. Like a lot of people will say the next game that we're talking about, but this is going to be a good football game. It's also the spread.
I mean, there's only 2 games that are under a field goal or at a field goal or under a field goal spread. So I think those are going to be the best 2. But I actually like every game this weekend.
I do too. I think it's a great slate of games.
I'm really shocked. I like all 8 teams remaining in the playoffs playing against.
For what it's worth, I'd normally go to Vegas or AC this weekend because I love just sitting at a sports book for both of these for this weekend. It's fucking great. But moving on to my Cleveland Browns, since I'm now affiliated with them, and the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a 10-point spread. 10-point spread. I think that comes down before kick. I think it probably ends up 9.5, 9. Sam, what do you got here?
Yeah, I've been notorious betting against the Chiefs. They have not covered in their last 7 games. They are 0-6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games.
It's a big deal.
Yes. I think I'm going to do a little take on this one that's going to be weird, but you're going to have to follow me with this one. If we're going by line movement, the Browns opened up as a 9.5-point dog. They have the bet percentage of 54% on them. They have the money percentage of 60% on them. And the line has still moved to the Chiefs -10. So in my world, I should be taking the Chiefs -10. I should be, but I can't. I cannot do it. Betting against the Chiefs has made me so much money in the last 4 weeks that I'm going to do it even though I know it's not right. So I'm telling you all to take the Chiefs -10, but I will be taking the Browns +10.
Doesn't this feel, Joe, before you start, doesn't this feel like the game where the Chiefs are up 14-0 in the first quarter?
If you know what it feels like? It feels like it's going to be the same fucking repeat of that Tennessee game last year. The Browns are going to probably go up 7-0. Everyone's going to be like, oh, watch out. Then it's going to be like 10-0. And then you're going to be like, oh, here come the Browns. And then the Chiefs win by 30.
Yeah. No, I buy it. Joe, what do you got?
So it looks to me like the Browns, I'm looking at their season schedule here. They haven't gotten blown out of the water since October 18th in Pittsburgh, 38-7. Since then, I think the biggest loss margin that they've had is 6 points.
Yeah, but they haven't played the Chiefs.
Yeah, you got to look at how their defense played last week in the second half. Like, obviously, their foot's off the gas pedal because they're up by so much. But shit, they gave up points at will.
Yeah, I'm trying to determine in my head right now, like so the problem with the Chiefs in the latter half of the season, and it wasn't really even like a problem. Like I know that they have been terrible against the spread, but it was more of like you would be watching that game, you would probably have some money on it, and at halftime you'd actually be concerned that the Chiefs might lose. And then by the end of the game, you look at the scoreboard and you're like, oh, the Chiefs had no problem, but they were lazy. Like in pretty much every single game that they played down the stretch, they were lazy. But I'm trying to determine if that's because they were like they knew that they could be. Like, why should I like spend like every ounce of power that I have in my body to go give it my all when I know that I'm going to be in the playoffs?
But like all the games were close. Like the only one that was like not close was like the Saints. They were up like 17 and up 10 the whole time, and the Saints backdoor pushed. But like all these games were close.
I think their running game suffered. Edwards-Helaire hit the rookie wall big time. Obviously, they brought in Lev, but Lev is like not.
And what's crazy is every time their offense is on the field, I feel like they score. And somehow they still don't cover. Their defense just gives up points every single time. And the Browns' offense is clicking right now. The biggest thing is
they can run the ball.
The Chiefs' offense legit won't be playing a game for like 4 weeks. Like this is their first game in 4 weeks. They played week 16. They took a week off in week 17. That's 1 full week. They had the bye, week 17 to the bye, week 2. Okay, 3 weeks. 3 full weeks without being on the field.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Wait, what?
Because they had the bye. They took off week 17.
Yeah, the rest of their starters week 17, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm saying. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Maybe the Browns' first quarter is the bet.
It could be some. I also think that it may not be this week, but there's some element of futures play in bookmaking here. So there's going to be a lot of people betting Browns money line based on Chiefs futures that they've had all year. It's going to happen. Yeah. So that number may be fluctuating too, and that'll lead to the Browns number. If you want a good Browns number, you probably need to take it before Sunday. That's what I would say.
I think I'll ultimately go with what Sam went with here, and take the Browns just because of how many points it is. I kind of like the over too. But I'm actually, I don't know now that you just explained the fact that the Chiefs offense hasn't been on the field in a month. I'll just stick with the Browns plus 10.
The Browns are going to want to control the clock here. They're going to want to run the ball. I mean, that's obvious. But I actually think that this game plays out in the end very much like the Bama-Ohio State game, where, early on there's some battle, but it looks a lot easier for Alabama than it did for Ohio State. And eventually it's just too much. So we'll see.
I'm telling you, Chiefs minus 10 is the bet, but I'm taking the Browns plus 10.
Yep. I buy it.
Tease it. Put it in the teaser. Run to the window and put it in your teaser.
With what?
Bet the Chiefs down.
Yeah, but with what else?
Probably a Buffalo.
I'll get to that.
The Packers.
Well, I would say thus far you would do the Packers. I would probably do the Ravens. I would probably go Packers down to money line, like pick them. Ravens to plus 9, and then Chiefs down to -3.
Love it.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like that, Joe.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
How'd your teaser work last week when you crossed 0 3 times?
It doesn't. That rule doesn't. Rules. You throw the rule book out in the playoffs, and everybody knows that.
Yeah, duh. Yeah, but
Everybody knows that.
It actually your rule would have helped you there.
All right, we're moving on to the last game. This is a super duper interesting game. It's a divisional matchup. These teams know each other. In real life, the crowd would be bumping for this game. Tampa Bay coming in at a 3-point dog against New Orleans. I don't know here. This is to me the biggest toss-up game of the week. Actually Joe, it's your turn. Joe, what do you got? Let Sam think about it.
Yeah. Did anybody see that tweet that Tom Brady put out where he photoshopped, somebody on his team photoshopped him looking really old and then Drew Brees looking really old? And the fact that Tom Brady made himself to look like Zeus old, and then Drew Brees looked like your retired plumber old.
Drew Brees was bald with a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah,
a nice long beard.
don't think Drew Brees didn't know exactly what was going on there. This is still. Does anybody know what the total career touchdowns is at the moment? Because every time that these two play, I always think of that.
Tom Brady's up by 10. I think it's 581 to 571.
Oh, that's because Drew Brees missed all that time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really impressed by the Bucs. They did what I thought that they should have done against the Washington football team. I think the Saints are playing overall better football right now on both sides of the ball. I mean, Sam, you can't want Tom Brady to win this game.
What are you talking about? I absolutely want Tom Brady to win.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
As a Patriots fan being out of the playoffs for the first time in how long?
Listen, Tom Brady sacrificed his soul for the New England Patriot football team. I am going to root for this man unless it is against the New England Patriots. I would die for this man. Die.
I don't believe you.
Die.
I don't believe that you want him to win.
He has brought me so much joy in my life. This man, ultimate joy. And I want the best for him.
I don't really care for the line here all too much. I mean, it makes sense, but it's just unfortunately a little too close for comfort. So maybe what I would do is add the Bucs into that teaser and bump them up to 10. So you would ultimately have Packers plus 0.5, Ravens plus 9.5.
Crossing 0.
Oh, shut up. Chiefs -3 and Bucs plus 10. I think the Saints win this game ultimately. I don't think that it's their best performance. I like the over. I don't want to make a pick on the spread, honestly. I like the over.
Yeah, I don't think, and I want to say I will do something crazy next week if this happens, but I can't think of what crazy thing I will do next week if this happens. But I don't think Tom Brady will ever lose to the same team 3 times in one season. I just don't think he will. He can't. He cannot physically lose to the same team.
Is the regular season matchup 2-0 for the Saints?
Yeah.
They win both times?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Give me the Bucs. Give me the Bucs. Buy it up. I'll buy it up to 3.5, but give me Bucs.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. There's no fucking way they win all 3 times. Tom Brady just will not allow that to happen.
That wouldn't even be just for a Tom Brady thing either. That's a whole Bruce Arians thing too.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians being quoted as has kind of a similar Bear Bryant quote where he's like, "What will you do if you ever decide to retire?" "Oh, I'll probably just die."
Yeah, I don't think Yeah. I don't know what I'll do if Tom Brady loses to someone 3 times in one season next week, but I'm telling you it won't happen. So Bucks plus 3.5. Take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This can be a great football game. I'm really looking.
But I agree with you. The Bucks have not looked good for a very long time now. They just don't.
I mean, do we know if Rojo's playing?
They should have smoked the Washington football team. Smoked them. Is Ronald Jones playing?
Yeah, no, I want to know too because Fournette has looked bad.
Bad.
And so is Keyshawn Vaughn. Keyshawn Vaughn's bad.
Jones practiced today.
Back at practice.
That's a big deal for them, you know?
Yeah, give me the Bucks. Just give them to me.
I think Drew Brees has looked like torrid. Like
I might have 5 more to watch again.
That game sucked. I had to sweat the over 22.5 for a same game parlay in that game, and it was not fun.
That's tough.
We showed kids football on Nickelodeon, and they had to watch the Bears. And then their chairman came out and said that they were keeping Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace after that.
Tough.
Imagine that.
Tough.
Wouldn't be me. Bears fans, I feel for you.
Tough.
I kind of want to take the Saints. I kind of do.
Do it.
Listen, I think under normal circumstances, I would take the Saints with a crowd. I would probably take them at a bigger spread, but
hold on,
they will have some fans there, just to be clear. But it's just like Kansas City's got a massive advantage over everybody else. Are they still like mostly filling their stadium?
Who? Sorry,
the Chiefs. Because the
Chiefs. I have no idea.
Because that's a big deal. That's a loud stadium, even if it's like partially filled.
It is going to have some fans for sure. Tickets are going for fucking $1,300.
Oh shit!
16,000 fans at Arrowhead.
All right.
Do the Saints have any fans?
Yeah, they have a few. They have
New Orleans, right?
They have a few.
The last time the Saints played a good team was on December 20th, and that was the Chiefs.
I mean, that was like, 4 weeks ago?
Drew Brees does not look good. And if you want to talk about the
Drew Brees stinks. He is the most overrated. He is the Derek Jeter of the NFL.
Just cooked, dude. Like, it's just over.
The guy has less than a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. It's baffling how people think he's so good. Baffling. He is the Derek Jeter of the NFL. Yeah, you get all these hits. Great.
Oh, you know what?
Overrated as fuck.
You know what? Too another reason why I'm gonna stick with the Bucks. Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers. I mean
that if there was ever games to be rigged in a season without fans, that would be what the NFL wanted.
Also,
Tom Brady versus MVP hopeful Aaron Rodgers.
Fun fact, Tom Brady has now beaten the same amount of teams in the NFC in the playoffs as Drew Brees. 7.
I'm going Bucks money line.
I am too.
Wow.
I'm taking the Bucks in every which way.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing though, I would not touch the total in this game.
Oh, I think I'm switching. I'm going under.
You should go the under. It's 55% of the bets are on the over, which is what jumped it up from 50 to 52, but 71% of the money's on the under. They want
I want nothing to do with the total in this game. Absolutely zero. Not even live. I will give you guys my logins for the sports books. Don't let me bet the total in this game.
Actually, no, wait, sorry. 76% of the bets are on the over and 71% of the money's on the under. They want you to bet the under by raising it. You might want to take the over.
I every time I bet an over, it loses some, so I just don't bet overs. I only bet unders.
I'm taking my 3 unders last week. They were the only 3 unders that hit.
Yeah. I like live unders. Live unders are great.
I wanted to bet the live under so bad in the Browns-Steelers game, and thank God it didn't because it just never would have hit. No matter when you put it never would have hit.
Tom, that was the game I kept trying to middle because there was so much variance book to book. I kept setting these middles and it kept blowing it out the fucking water. So at the end, this was truly magical. I like tilted on Browns plus or minus, what did I say, minus 10.5. And then, because I was like, Ben's going to throw an interception on this drive. They kick the field goal, touchdown, 2-point conversion. They win by 11.
Love it. Love it.
Sports.
All right.
I think it's going to be a great weekend. These are going to be some fantastic games. I prefer divisional weekend to conference championship weekend, personally.
Same.
Unless we get Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. That would be nice.
And then Lamar, Patrick Mahomes.
Also would be nice.
Or Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. I'm fine with that.
Won't sell quite as well.
Or Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson.
Or Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen. These are all possibilities.
I will tell you what. If my game plan,
Jared Goff.
If my game plan could beat the Chiefs this weekend, mine and Kevin's game plan could beat the Chiefs this weekend, I think I might be off the show because I might be in a job.
You might be coach of the year.
Yeah. I might be.
Yeah.
I'll keep you guys posted on how that's looking. We might bet some Browns money line.
Love it.
This is us. Our story, our life, our home.
Browns. That could be the thumbnail. Thumbnail right here.
Isn't that time?
All right. I'm ready. I'm ready to lock them in.
Lock them in. Guys, give me your mortal locks. Sam, you were the winner last week. Let's start with Joe.
Yes, all right. Well, hold on. First of all, I guess, how many do you have, Sam?
I think I have 6.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5.
All right, so I'll go first then.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Bucks money line.
All right, I'll match you with that Bucks money line.
Okay, can I go my second?
Yeah.
Bucks plus 3.5.
I'll match you with that Bucks plus 3.5. I have both of those written down. All right. So our first 4 total, 2 each, are out the door.
Yeah. All right. Third one. This was the first pick we talked about on the show. I like the Rams plus 7. I'll buy up the half point. I do want the Packers to win. I have the Packers to win the NFC, so I'd like that. But Rams plus 7. 60% of the bets are on the Packers. 56% of the money's on the Packers. It moved down from 7 to 6.5. They want you to bet the Packers more often. I'll buy it up to that 7 and take the Rams.
Yeah, we're going to have a mortal lock off there because I'm going Packers minus 6.5. I just, it'll be a bad look on Aaron Rodgers if he's not able to beat this team by more than 7 points. So, what?
It's a playoff win. You take them where you get them. It doesn't matter by how many points.
I think it'll be a bad look based on public perception of how bad the Rams are.
The Rams are not bad.
Yes, they are.
They just beat an 11-5
They're not good.
team. They just beat an 11-5 team on the road by 10 points, handily, with their QB that has a broken thumb. The Rams are not a bad team.
The Rams are pretty bad.
They're frauds. Big F words.
Yeah.
The Rams just put up 30 points against a team that has their defense playing at an elite level, and their QB does not have a thumb on his throwing hand.
Yeah, I mean, again, these are all reasons based on the fact that I think that they're frauds like Cam does. You're giving me reasons to think that they're not only just frauds, but they're hurt frauds. Like they're depleted frauds.
I don't know what you would like them to do to prove they're not frauds.
I also thought that the Seahawks were frauds. So whatever. Doesn't matter. Either way, mortal lock off. You went 2-0 on them last week, so you should be feeling good by the fact that I'm taking the Packers.
We discussed why the Rams lost to the Jets. We discussed that on this show, why the Rams lost to the Jets.
Yeah, I know.
What's the reason?
I think that they're frauds.
What's the reason?
Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Paid off, sucked off Shawnee McVay.
Yeah.
In favor of getting Trevor Lawrence out of the division.
Yeah, exactly.
And now Urban Meyer's coaching.
Sean McVay.
All right.
Sean McVay, people forget, one of the better playoff coaches in the most recent time frame.
One of the worst Super Bowl performances in recent memory.
Yeah, but that's the Super Bowl. This is the playoffs.
It's your turn.
Oh, yeah. I'll take the under in that game, 45.5. I'll buy it up to.
We're going to match there because I also have the under in that game.
Fuck, I'm going to lose all my bets this week. I'm going to go up to 46. It's 50% 54% of the bets are on the over. 57% of the money is on the under. It dropped from 47 to 45.5. They're trying to get you to bet the over on this one. They don't want to lose a lot of money on the under. Buy it up to 46. Don't think about it. It's going to be brutal because you're going to have to watch Javonte Adams. You're going to have to watch Alan Lazard. The Packers like to score quick. But hopefully the Rams can run that clock there, get it over with quickly. Maybe let's get like a 13-10 Packers win. That would just be beautiful.
That would suck.
No, that'd be great. In the Lambeau snow, that would just be so much fun.
I'll be asleep if that happens.
At 4:35 on a fucking Saturday. Yeah, that's my fourth pick.
Okay, I'm adding one as we speak, but I will give you Cleveland, Kansas City. I'm taking the over in that game. I see right now, I don't see what the money is, but I see that 80% of the bets are on the over. I just don't see how that game, I just don't see how either of those two defenses are able to consistently stop both of those two offenses, especially with how much Cleveland is humming right now.
Didn't you say when we talked about it that you like the under because the Chiefs' offense hasn't been on the field in 4 weeks, 3 weeks?
I said I'd think about it, but I'm taking the over.
You thought about it.
I thought about it, and I've taken the over. 57.
We're gonna have to sweat bullets on that one. I guarantee it. It's gonna be 7-3 at the end of the first quarter.
My fifth pick, just because I'm biased on this one, I wouldn't recommend doing it, but I like the Ravens +3. I'll buy it. I have the Ravens at 11 to win the Super Bowl, so I want them to keep winning, obviously, and therefore I'll take the Ravens +3. I'll just double down on them every single week.
Okay. I don't hate that. I think I'm going to keep them with my teaser, but I am going to be taking the under in that game, under 49.5.
Look at you, feeding the public.
Yeah.
That is also going to suck.
That's gross.
Yeah, I just don't think that they're with the weather forecast in mind, with the way that the Ravens defense has been playing of late and how the Bills offense looked against the Colts last week. I think they're both kind of fairly similar, if not the Ravens a little bit better defensively, but similar.
The Ravens defense is good.
Yeah, they're back. Like the Ravens, when I think about the Ravens, like growing up, like I think of like good defenses.
I don't think I talked about it enough last week. The Ravens had the best point differential in the NFL, and it wasn't even close. The next closest team was 20 points away. And that was the Packers. 7 of the last 11 teams to make the Super Bowl have had the best point differential in the NFL.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I like I said, I think that they're the Titans of this year.
Yeah.
They'll run into the Chiefs.
All right, my sixth pick, even though I told you to take the Chiefs, I'm going to take the Browns +10. Chiefs have not covered in their last 7 games. That is my sixth pick. Final pick.
Sam, if they had covered in some of those games, this would be a 13.5 point spread.
If they had, yes. And if they had covered in some of those games, I'd also take the Chiefs here.
All right. That's fair.
Cool.
Is that your sixth?
No, I said my 6.
Okay. So just to recap, because 6 picks is a lot to go through, I have the Rams +7. I have under 46 in the Rams Packers game. I have the Ravens +3. I have the Browns +10. I have the Bucks +3.5, and I have the Bucks money line.
Okay. I have the Bucks money line, the Bucks +3.5, Green Bay -6.5, Green Bay Rams under 45.5, Cleveland, Kansas City over 57. God, that's an outrageous number. And the Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens under 49.5.
What a week.
What a week.
4 games, we've each found a way to make 6 locks.
I already regret the Kansas City Cleveland over, but
my prop block, if you can find it, whatever the number is, if it's like probably right around 9 points, give me the Justin Tucker under points. I think something's up with Justin Tucker. My friend told me there are kicking props on FanDuel now. I'm going to take a look, but give me the Justin Tucker under in props.
Watch out, Tucky.
It sucks because he's been my fantasy kicker forever. So, but all right, everybody. This is going to be a great weekend. You got some locks here. Joe, you want to close this out?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's really only one way to close us out leading into the divisional round with a nice quote that's been a common theme throughout the night here. And that's, you know what, like, I mean, at the end of the day, records aside, like maybe if you go 6-0 one week and 2-3 one week, like, I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because this is us, our story, our life. I don't know. What do you got? All right, we'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the weekend.
See ya.
See you.